Karibu, karibu, welcome, welcome, welcome to today's session. It's going to be a very powerful session. So the first thing I want us to do before even we get to the session is we need an amazing icebreaker. We need to warm ourselves. And I know probably in the morning when you wake up, maybe you do coffee, some do tea, some do warm water with lemon, depending on your tradition, right? So here, the first thing we usually like to do is to get ourselves warmed up, is to get ourselves, of course, excited for the session. We need to awaken ourselves. And what we are going to do is we're going to have an amazing, amazing icebreaker session. So let me go ahead and share my screen so that we can be able to kick off this amazing session today. It's going to be a very powerful session. So I have an icebreaker here. And so how are we going to participate in this icebreaker session? So it's going to be a fun session. So the first thing, of course, is I'm going to display questions on the screen and then with the answers, right? Oh, Paris, you says you can't hear. Can anyone hear me? Let me know. Can you hear me? Please type in the chat if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Am I on mute? Jackie Mugo, I can't hear you. Wait, Nduta says yes, I can hear you. I think then, okay, I think you can hear me. Paris, what I can advise is, I know we have 20X team, please assist them. You can tell them to connect their audio. That's the reason why they can't hear. Yeah, thank you, team. At least you can hear me. Super, super glad. I was so worried, with internet. I don't know if it has ever happened to you, but you could be talking, excited, giving out all that rasma and energy, only to find that you are talking to yourself. It's quite embarrassing. So thank you so much for confirming that you can hear me. Awesome, awesome. Yes. Okay, Paris, please do fix on your side. So the person with the fastest response will win each round. So we are going to have 6 questions, right? And I will display them on the screen. It's a mix of questions about our country, how well you know the country, and also, of course, some emoji questions. And the person who wins each round, of course, you're going to win that round, but then the one who wins most rounds is going to win the game. So team, let me know if you are ready. Type in the chat yes, so that I can be able to know that you are ready. We start. I want us to kick it off. Yeah, wow, okay. I know the answers that then are going to come in so fast. I will need maybe you pray for me so that I'm able to catch up. Okay, on to the first question. There we go. There we go. What is this emoji doing? What is this emoji doing? Is it A, B, C, D? What is this emoji doing? What is this? Charlene laughing. Charlene was too quick. I know the amazing thing is when you look at the timing, it's 9:06, 9:06, 9:06, but she was the fastest. Charlene, you win round 1. Hey, this thing is very competitive. This thing is very competitive. Let's go to question 2. I can't see anything. So sorry. I know someone is going to help you from my team because I can't assist you right now. I'm sharing my screen. So sorry to hear that, Dean. So Sylvia says laughing, but you are too late. So Charlene wins round 1. Let's go to round 2. Let's see who is going to take over. Is someone going to dethrone her? Let's see. How many countries does Kenya border? Is it A, B, C, D? How many countries does Kenya border? Is it A, B, C, D? I know you guys are Googling. Are you? Hey, Charlene says B. What? No. Charlene ukona mwax. How come you're so quick? Correct. Yeah. This one, you see, when the answers are a few, guys don't know, and we live in Kenya. So it's 5 countries border Kenya. And Charlene, of course, wins 2 rounds. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We need to dethrone Charlene. Is anyone going able to take over from her? Let's see. On to the third question. What does this mean? A, B, C, D. What does this mean? What does this emoji mean? Charlene says A. Why? Yeah, Charlene. You're not giving people peace. Emma, you are correct. Justine, you are correct. Sylvia, you are correct, but you are too slow for Charlene. You need to move closer to your machine. You need to move closer to your laptop or a phone. Come closer, because I don't know how Charlene is doing it, but those are three rounds she has won. If she wins this one, then the game is over, man. So is someone going to take over from her? On to the next question. When was Kenya officially named as Kenya? You know, Kenya has not always been Kenya. That has not always been its name. Sylvia says 1963. That was very quick, but unfortunately wrong. Nina says C, 1964, but wrong. Emma says 1964, but wrong. Charlene says 1963, but wrong. Justine says 1920. Yes. Finally, someone else has won. Yes, Kenya, before 1920, Kenya was known as the East African British what? Protectorate. And then 1920, it was then officially named as Kenya when they got the name from Kirinyaga, Kenya. That is how the Kamba people are calling Kirinyaga, Kenya. So that is why the Mzungus pronounce Kenya as Kenya. Okay, so the answer is A. So Justine won, and then Charlene, how many? Three. Wait, okay, this is tough. This one is tough. So what is this emoji doing? What is this? When someone types this, is it true or false? When someone says it's lit, is this true or is this false? Perry says true. Where did Charlene go to, by the way? Because now I can't see her. Guys are, oh, she's here. But Charlene, Paris was a bit quicker than you. So Paris, Charlene, wow, okay. this thing is tricky, but still Charlene is leading. Let's go to the last question. Nairobi is the capital city of Kenya. It's a Maasai word meaning a place of cool waters. Is this true or is it false? Charlene says true. Charlene, this one now, you have killed it. Those are four. So you are our winner. The winner is Charlene. That was quick. That was, I must admit, that was very quick considering the number of people we have here, and you won 4 rounds out of 6. That was very quick. So team, here we do, how we do it is we celebrate the winners. So please in the chat, congratulations, Charlene. Let's see the congratulations coming in. At least, we appreciate it. I know it was tough for her to type. Maybe one day she will share with us her secrets. Nino Pio says, congratulations, Charlene. Silva says, congratulations. There we got that is the spirit. I love the spirit. So I'm just going to stop sharing, and then I invite Eunice to come in again now and take us to the next session. Thank you so much for playing. Over to you, Eunice.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
You can hear me?
Good morning.
Yes, we can.
Oh, awesome. Just need to be sure that my microphone is working. I can see Jackie has raised her hand. Jackie, did you want to say something? Jackie Mogo? Okay. I think it's important that we get to introduce ourselves. We are quite many, so not everybody is able to speak, but I would like you to introduce yourself on the chat. And this is how you're going to do it. You're going to tell us your name. Please put on your cameras, don't switch off. I want to see people so that I know who I'm speaking to. I don't want to speak to a screen. Yes, thank you, Justine. Yes, now that looks better. Let me see you. So you're going to introduce yourself in the chat. And this is how you're going to do it. You're going to say your name, where you're joining us from, and what you sell. Because this is a sales conversation. So it's very important that you take an opportunity to sell to the people here. We're giving you an opportunity to sell. So tell us what you sell. And the easiest way to tell people what you sell is to tell them, the problem you solve for who. Say, so what problem do you solve and for who? And I'm sure if somebody has that problem, they will see you. So please type in the chat. I just want to see how many who is able to type. Yes, so type in the chat your name, where you're joining us from, and the product, or rather the problem that you solve and for who. That's the easiest way to sell. So meanwhile, I will go ahead and start the session. It's 9:13, and we would like to release you exactly at 10 or slightly, maybe latest 10:10. So I'm going to share my screen so that we start. Keep introducing yourself and keep checking on the chat to see who is in the room and see what you have been looking for, whether it's available for you, and feel free to connect. I like to give people opportunity to, to share what they have and to sell what they are selling. So I know you joined today's session because you're a business leader or you own a business. You're either a sales leader, meaning you're a sales manager, or you own a business, so you're an entrepreneur. Those are the sales leaders that I am expecting. So even in your introduction, you can just say, who you are. Are you a sales manager or are you an entrepreneur? Boniface, please keep admitting so that I'm not distracted. So I just decided to put these photos because I wanted to brag to you that I went to Mount Kenya and I summited on 20th on the Mashujaa Day. I summited the Lenana Peak, and I thought it's good that I brag a bit. And so those are just a few pictures. You see how you see the world from up there? It's very beautiful. It's so awesome. Of course, it's very difficult to get there, but when you get there, you have the whole view. You see, even the clouds are below you. So you see the whole, if everything is below where you are. Okay. So by the end of this session, I want us to be able to learn how to put to death the chaos and take control of your sales as a sales leader, position your business for sales success, build a sales system, or rather learn how to build a sales system that delivers results, and also learn how to effectively manage your teams to get more sales. So, question, why do customers buy? Let me hear. Just a few people to unmute and tell us, why do customers buy from you? Why do they buy?
I can answer.
Yes, go ahead, Peter.
In my view, customers buy for two reasons. One, they have a big pain and they want you to solve that pain. And if they don't solve that pain, they'll continue suffering.
Yeah.
So solving their pain is something that will help them, that will make them get money out of their pocket, because customers parting with their money is a big problem. The other thing is you are giving them so much joy and happiness. They want to pay and wajibambe.
Yes, that's true.
So for me, those are the two major reasons where customers buy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Peter. Anyone else? One more person want to share why customers buy? Nina? Nina, you're speaking on mute. Can you hear Nina? We can't hear you, Nina. I think your speaker has a problem. Someone else? Nina is trying to speak, but we can't hear her. So one more person.
Hello.
Yes, Atanas.
Yes, how are you?
Very well.
Yeah. Sorry, I've joined a bit late.
Okay, all right, no problem. So we are discussing, why do customers buy? So Peter has told us because they have a problem that they want to solve, or because you make them so excited that they just want to pay you money. What is the other reason? Justin, you want to say something, but you're fearing. Please go ahead. We can see your visual.
Yes. Some customers buy when they trust us and they feel that what we have to offer will help them in one way or another.
Awesome. So they buy because they trust. Yeah. So customers will buy because they have a job that need to be done. And it happens that your product will do the job, or your service will do the job. The other reason is they also have a goal that need to be achieved, or as Peter said, they have a problem that they need solved. So these are the reasons why customers buy. So if you're going to get the customers to buy, then you must make sure that your product or service is doing the job, or it is achieving the customer goal, or it is solving the problem. Okay. So how do you ensure that they keep buying? And I just want to say that it starts from the top. You see, as the leader, as a sales leader, as the entrepreneur, you're the one to set up, I call it the machine. You need to set up a machine that makes customer keep buying. I know the perception about selling is, that hard push. You really have to push the sale. It sounds so difficult and so hard to do. But after many years of selling, I have been in sales for the last over 13 years, since 2009. And over time, I have kept learning that it doesn't have to be that difficult if we set the right systems, if we create the right machine that keeps customers buying. And apart from them buying, they keep selling to their customers and to their friends and relatives. Now, the unfortunate bit is that all of us, or rather most of us, is normally you or your company selling to your customers. So you're always playing, 95% of the people play here, that it is you or your company selling to your customers. Only 5% or less are able to have their customers actually selling to their customers and their friends and relatives. And this is the place you want to move to. You want to move from your company just being the one looking for customers to having customers so excited and so happy to sell to their own customers, to their friends and relatives. So you want to join, we want to move this 95% to this part, because this is where we all need to be playing. Now, before I continue, I think it's important that I just give you a brief story, just brief journey about me. Most of you may know the story, but I studied chemistry and maths in Chiromo campus. Oh yes, I pride myself having been a campus mate of the current president of Kenya. Is that not something good? Yeah, yes. So yeah, we were schoolmates. Don't worry about the years in terms of gap, but atukuonana. Then after that, I studied ICT. I'm a Microsoft certified system engineer, and I was a trainer since 2003 up to 2008. I trained. I am a trained trainer. And then after that, I decided that I wanted to make a lot of money. And when I read the many books I read, I know Peter will tell me something different, but the books I read told me that the richest people in the world were salespeople first. So they started selling, and that's how they made their money. So I stopped training and decided to go sell insurance. So I started selling life insurance in 2009. And interestingly is that by 2010, I was promoted to be a unit manager. So I became a sales leader. And the thing with the insurance industry, for those who are not in the insurance, is that in insurance industry, when you're made a unit manager, when you're promoted to be a unit manager, you become the HR. Basically, you recruit the salespeople, you train the salespeople, you mentor the salespeople, you coach them, you become like their mother, you're everything to them. So I was able to recruit over 15 agents, and actually productive agents. I pride myself having that majority of the people I recruited and trained are now managers as we speak. So I would say I can brag to be a leader's developer, you know, a developer of people. Then in 2015, I became the country sales manager for microinsurance in the same organization. And that means I had so many, over 3,000 agents and brokers across the country. And then in 2017, I resigned and I started BSmart. BSmart is an online insurance comparison platform. And the problem we are solving is, or rather we solve, is the lack of transparency in the industry. So we enable customers to be able to compare not only price, but benefits, exclusions, the things that they say they are not told. So they're able to do that before they buy. And in 2020, I authored my first book, Sell Me This Pen. I'm sure most of you have read it. Going first, please mute people. The people who are mute everyone, please. Yeah, so I authored my first book, which is the Sell Me This Pen. It's a book where I've shared my journey as a salesperson, the opportunities, the challenges, the stigma of being a salesperson and how we can overcome them and how we can become high trusted salespeople. And then, and then 2022, I authored the second book, or rather, I launched the second book, The Hits and Misses. Oh, there's someone who is just. Alison, are you there? Please mute the people. Is someone who is speaking? Okay. Yeah, and in 2021, we were able to grow our customer base by 700%. That was 2020, 2021. We've been growing since 2017, but the most significant growth will happen in 2021. And for that reason, I have been there. I have been a salesperson. I have been a sales manager. I have been an entrepreneur. And I know the challenges that we all go through. For example, when I became the country sales manager, I didn't know where to begin. You know, I'm supposed to give my boss a strategy. I had no idea what to do a strategy. And so you find yourself in that darkness, okay? Now, so that is why I believe that I'm positioned to help you set up that sales machine that will keep generating sales, on a daily and consistent manner. In 2022, this year, we began 20X. So 20X is actually a very new company. And why did we begin 20X? The whole reasoning is borrowed from my own personal experience. When I left my training job, that time I was earning 25,000 shillings. And in 4 years, I was able to grow my income more than 20 times, because in 4 years, I was able to earn over 500,000 shillings per month. And so we figured, if I can be able to do that, then every person who gets to interact with us. So when you join 20X, we envision for you that in 2 or 3 or 4 years, I mean, in 3 to 5 years, you should be able to grow your revenue 20 times. I've shown you that 2021, we were able to grow 7 times. That is just within 1 year. So We know that it is possible because we have done it. Okay. So you as the business leader, as a sales leader, we want to move your business from X, where you are, to 20X, where you ought to be. And just imagine how that will look like when you see your sales growing 20 times. Now, that journey began in March 2022. And we've had students, we've had entrepreneurs. And today, I just want to invite Atanas to share his journey when he joined the 20X, how he was performing and how he's performing now. Atanas is actually a techie. He's a developer, someone who has no background in sales or anything. But as the entrepreneur, the business owner, he knew that he needed to sell and to make the business start selling. So Atanas, please, you can show your face, so that people can see you. He's joining us all the way from Kigali. Go ahead, Atanas.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, as Eunice has introduced me, my name's Atanas Njoroge, actually Kenyan, but based in Kigali. And I have a software company. My company is a technology company whereby we give solutions for the point of sale, that is retail management systems. We also give solutions on HR management software, basically payrolls. We also do a lot of system integrations. For example, you want to integrate your system with the payment gateways. We also offer those services. Having been a software engineer and worked in many companies, I felt that after working for about 15 years as an employee in various companies, I felt now I have enough skills to be able to form or to found a company, and that's how I founded the company called NV Data Solutions. Now, I being a software engineer, I had read a lot of books about how to start a business, how to run a business in those old conventional ways, whereby I knew that I need an accountant, I need services of a legal officer, I need to have marketing people, and I need to have the product. So myself, I viewed myself as a person in the production department, writing softwares, testing softwares, and making sure that they can be able to perform well in the market. So I looked for staffs who I employed in the marketing department. And this, I was looking for staffs who have studied marketing and things like that. However, I found a challenge, and the challenge was these marketing people were not performing as expected. They would bring in a month 2 sales or 3 sales, and that time we have bills to pay, we have the salaries, we have the rent, and we were always on the negative side. One time I thought, how can I be able to improve this? Because I felt I've already created the products. The products are performing well. So the only thing that needed is to go to the market. Luckily, Eunice sent me a link for Unlock Your Sales Potential. It was a webinar that she was presenting, and I decided to join that webinar. So when I joined that webinar, I found like something that has been locked in my mind has been unlocked, because I found out that I, being a tech savvy person, I being a person who knows the technical aspects of my product, I could be the best marketer for those products, because when I go to explain, nothing I cannot be able to explain to the customer. When a customer has whatever problem he has, I can be able to illustrate, I can be able to show the client how he can solve the problem very well than most of my marketing personnel. So after the 5 days sales challenge, I attended the 5 days sales challenge. And one of the profound things that I found is that for you to sell well, it is not to directly go to the customer and tell, I have this product, can solve this is going for this much. One of the things I found that she advised us is, for example, you can create a free webinar. You can explain about, you can discuss with the participants about the challenges they are facing, and then you can show them how you can be able to solve their problems using your solution. And then you can ask them to sign up and things like that. So what I did immediately, I did not go to the webinar, but here in Rwanda, we have one organization, we call it Association of Kenyans Living in Rwanda. And many other times they have some functions. So in that week, there happened to be two functions that were happening. And because having stayed in Rwanda for long, most of the officials were people known to me well. I floated an idea that when we have a luncheon or a dinner or an activity, maybe if there are people who are doing, who are in business and they need to talk about their product, maybe we can be giving them some few minutes to do the presentation. And my idea was accepted. So I explained about my human resource solution. And what I did, I picked the ideas that I had done from unit. So first thing I asked those people, what are the challenges they are facing their human management in their companies? They discussed the various problems they are having, like, for example, managing the leaves, appraisals, things to keeping the employees data and what have you. So from that process, I explained to them and I did a demo on how my application helps to solve those problems. And because I was having my assistant in the event, she was distributing the papers where these people could fill their information. So after that event, I was able to go back to the office and write to them, asking them if they would like to sign up. We can visit them to discuss the demo. We can even give, yes.
Just allow me to cut you a little bit short.
Yes.
And yeah, that's a very inspiring journey.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask you,
Yes.
for the sake of everyone, is
yes.
Before you joined 20X, how many sales
Yes.
were you doing per month? And
Yes.
how many sales are you doing right now per month?
Okay, thanks a lot. So before joining the 20X, the maximum sales I would make in a month were 3. And after joining the 20X, in less than 2 months, the sales that I'm making in a month, the minimum I could say is 75. So you can see how transformative, you can see how this 20X has really transformed my business to a point whereby I'm able even to increase my sales staff, and I'm able to reach quite a very big number, and using a very flexible means of marketing. So I'm very happy with 20X, and I would recommend everyone to sign up for this program, and you won't regret. Thank you, Eunice.
Thank you so much, Atanas. I know you have a lot of stories to tell.
Yes.
And I'm sure people want to hear it, but for the sake of the session, let's just stop it there. You can reach out to Atanas if you need a payroll system or the retail management system. He has a very affordable services in software. All right, so you please type your comments. Keep typing your comments on the chat. You can tell Atanas what you feel about his, moving from software developer to salesperson. As you can see, he's become a real salesperson. All right. So let me ask you. I have a question for you. What does your sales feel like right now? What is it feeling like? When you think of, when you look at your sales, how does it feel? As the leader or as a business person, how are you feeling about your sales right now?
So how I feel about my sales, right? I feel that I've been able to unlock what has been locked for me. And I feel that every day is a new day to go and reach out to many people to give the solution. And it is one of the things that I like most. In fact, I'm transforming from being that coder The person in the sales. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Atanas. Yes, you've truly fallen in love with sales. How
Yes,
about the
yes.
other people? Jackie, Wangari, what does your sales feel right now? Let me see in the chat. I can see. Oh, Jacqueline says I can do better. What does that mean? Gladys says my sales are slow. I can do better. What is this thing about doing better? What is, just say it as it is. If it is terrible, just say it's terrible. If it is bad, say it's bad. If it's good, say it's good. You know, people like decorating things. You want to make them look like the sales are okay, but I want more sales at better. Okay. All right. I don't know about other people who haven't shared, but I would like, does it feel like, as a sales manager, does it feel like you're not in control of your sales? Like, it's like a bit chaotic. Can you tell how much sales you will do next month or next year? Can you tell based on, how predictable they have been? Please type in the chat and let me know. Yeah. Type in the chat, and Alison, you can read for me what is being typed. Yeah, does it feel like you're losing control, or does it feel like, let me know how it feels for you, or is it like a black box? You know that you're really working hard. You're actually always having to meet your salespeople. You're calling the customers, you're going for networking events. You know that work is going in, but you have no idea, it goes somewhere in a black box. Something will come out. You have hope that, someday something will come out, but you can't tell what is that something that will come out or how much of it will come out. Let me see. You can unmute yourself. Somebody want to share that? Does it feel like that black box? Gladys says unpredictable. Sylvia, unpredictable. Who feels like it is like a black box? You're working so hard, helter-skelter, you see the year is coming to an end. Somehow you will end the year, but you don't know how much. How does that feel? Jackie Mugo, I feel like I need to do something extra, but I don't know what that is. Mercy says very unpredictable, like a black box for sure. Teresia, unpredictable. Yes. I know that feeling. I have been there, whereby you don't know, something need to happen, but you don't know what it is. We wake up early in the morning, you even call your people and they tell you they're in the field, but you can't tell how much will come, okay? Oh, hey, yes, crossing your fingers. That's how it feels, that you're just crossing fingers because it's like it's going somewhere in like a black box. You can't see the content inside there. That's why you have to cross the fingers. So it doesn't have to be that way. It can be predictable. Yeah. So you need to have visibility. For you to take control of it, you need to have visibility of the whole sales process, depending on what product you're selling. Like they're doing B2B, others are B2C. When I say B2B is, it means you're selling business to business. So you sell to organizations, you don't sell to individuals. You sell to individuals. So do you have that visibility of the whole process? How do your salespeople generate leads? Now, when I say leads, I mean prospects. How do they prospect? How many do they prospect per day? How many of those do they convert? Do you know the conversion ratio of their activities? Do you know their cost of customer acquisition? Do you have visibility of the whole process from lead generation to closing and maintaining the business? So you need to have that visibility. So the 20X enabling system enables you to take control of yourself, to be in charge, to know what is going in. So it stops being a black box and make it transparent box that you can be able to tell, to see what has gone in that box, and what is going to come out of that box. I always say that sales is a science. It's a science means that it's a logical process that if you follow the steps, it will give you the output that you expect. So you should never feel like a black box. Okay. So the 20X sales enabling system is a system that we've created. It's not I know you're wondering, is it a machine? No, it's not a software. It is a process. A system is something that is logic that, gives a certain output. And the whole purpose is to support your sales. And it also enables you not to look at sales as an island. Many organizations look at sales function as an island, yet it is the soul and the heart of the business. But it is separated. Finance doesn't know what happens for a customer to come in. If you're working in insurance, the claims people have no idea how their processing of claim affects the sales. So sales is not an island, and we must stop looking at it as an island. We have to look at it that your software engineers know that whatever they design will affect the selling process, okay? So does everybody in your company understand, how the sales happen? So the 20X sales enabling system has got 4 pillars. We look at your strategy. The strategy is like your Google map. So it guides you on where and how to go, okay? And then the other pillar is the system. This is a system that supports the strategy. A process that enables the execution of the strategy. And then there is the management. How do you manage the whole sales process from the beginning to the end? And how do you evaluate your salespeople? So that is how the sales enabling system looks like. Now, the problem with your strategy is, it is like this. See this one? Whereby, when you make a strategy, it's like internal processes. Yeah, it's so focused internally. It's about the numbers. Some board members somewhere came up with a target, and it was cascaded down. Now, if you ask, how did they come up with the number? Nobody knows how the number came about. You were just given a target. And so you're supposed to go to the market and sell. I don't know how many of you feel like that or have experienced workplace. I did that. And for those who know me, is that I live a very curious life. So when you give me the numbers, I want to understand, how did you come up with this number? And I used to get frustrated because you can't just give me a number. What informs the number? So over time, I've had to find out, how do we come up with a strategy that works? It cannot be about people sitting in the boardroom and deciding, this is the target, without looking at, outward. So the real a strategy that is executable need to look like this. It should be inside out. I mean, yes, you're looking outside. You want to understand, who are your customers? Do you even know who your customer is? What are their pains? How do they describe this pain? How do they want to be reached? This is how your sales strategy need to look like. I just came across this research by Serious Decisions. It says that the number one inhibitor of achieving sales target is the inability to communicate a value message. So your salespeople have no idea what value they provide to your customers. First, they don't even know who your customers are. If I ask you right now, let me just ask a few people, who is your customer? Just type in the chat, who is your customer? Type in the chat, or can I call your name? Steve Musyoka. Ah, you're called like Steven Musyoka. Are you brothers or are you the son? Who is your customer? Teresia Mwanzala says children. Peter Oloch says, my customer is salaried, broke people. Let me see other customers. Peter Kavave, who is your customer? Edwin Thuo says, people with insurance interest. Rebecca, women in fitness. Let's see more. Gladys, people with dependents and an income. Yeah. Let's see, Michael, Aluciola, anyone who needs financial services in banking. So Michael, let me just pick your definition of your customer. Who is anyone, for example? You know, when you say anyone, imagine you're sending your salespeople to look for anyone who needs financial services. Where are they going to find this anyone? You understand? You know, when you say anyone means nobody. So you need to be very clear on who is this customer? What are their pain points? What are their behavior? Like when Peter says salaried broke people, but you need to go further and define, you know, what level of salary, because if it's a house help who is earning maybe 5,000 shillings, is that your customer? They're salaried. Yeah, so you need to go further and actually define who exactly is this customer. Somebody, Steve says, people with stable income. Who are those? Imagine you're sending your salespeople, go look for people with stable income. Where are they going to find them? How do they look like? Where do they meet? Yeah. So you need to be very clear on who is this person that you target. And once you know who they are, then you're able to communicate the value message because you understand them, you know their behavior, you know their pains, you know their aspirations, and then you can be able to craft a value message for them. The other research also said that customers, they asked customers about the quality of interaction with salespeople. Only 10% said sales calls provide enough value to warrant the time they spent on them. So you're sending your salespeople to go make calls, for example. But customers say only 10% of the sales calls really give them value and, you know, that make them want to listen. So you can see you're seated in the office or you're going out with your agents or your salespeople, but nobody is adding value to the customer. A Forrester research study also revealed that only 15% of sales calls add enough value, according to the executives surveyed. Another study also showed that just 7% of the surveyed executives said they would probably schedule a follow-up. So you see, you're busy sending your salespeople away to go and sell, but the impact is less than 15%. So you are expecting sales, but you will not get sales because they're not adding value. So when we talk about strategy and positioning, we're talking about, you know, what is your strategy and what is your positioning? There's the strategy plan, which is the business plan, or rather the whole business strategy. I'm not going to talk more about that because this is where you as a company, as an organization, you know where you're going, what is the vision, what is the mission, and how you're positioned, all that. But I want to focus on the sales strategy. Now, my experience, when I became a manager, I thought that sales strategy is numbers. So all I needed to know is how much do we need to do this year? So of course, the board has said, these are the numbers. So I'm given my numbers. Okay, you're supposed to do 200 million this year. And then all I would do is to break down the numbers. But you know, numbers are not strategy. Numbers is not a strategy because you need to go further. Your sales team need to know, you know, how do they even prioritize? Who do they need to go to sell to? Clearly from the charts, most of you who are sales leaders, don't even know who your customers are. So where will your salespeople go to? What do you need to do? Where? How much will come from, existing business? How much will come from new business? How much will come from what product? From which region? And why is this amount going to come from this region? Because my experience is, the target is there, is divided among different branches, for example, or different, salespeople. But why? Why are you giving this particular salesperson this target and not the other target? So the sales strategy needs to go beyond the numbers. You need to talk about the positioning. This is where you talk about your customer. What problem do you solve? How does my customer describe their problem? I came across a quote that says that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and value is in the mind of the customer. So what you think is value, that is value you're providing, may not be what the customer sees as value. So value is dependent on the mind of the customer. But so that is why you need to know what is their problem and how do they describe it, not how you describe it, how they do it. How do you solve that problem? How do we want to be perceived by our customer? What is the value proposition that you have? And then, of course, you're looking at the channels. How do you reach the different customer segments that you have? How do you communicate to each of those segments? And who do you need in terms of the kind of team that you need to be able to deliver that value? Okay. Then once you have the strategy in place, the next thing is you need to build a system that will support that strategy. And this is what I'm calling, the process. What is the lead generation process? Does every salesperson in your team know how you generate leads? Okay. How do they move from the lead or from the prospect all the way to closing the business? What materials do they use? How do they, do they even have a unique value proposition? What needs to happen at what point? That need to be very clear. And then the other process you need is, how do you hire and how do you onboard your salespeople? All right. And then after that, I talked about the other pillar, which is management. We start from the reward structure. How do you reward performance? How do you deal with non-performance? That is another process that you need to have in place. Does every salesperson know when you call for a meeting? Do they know what to expect in every meeting? Okay, so that's another process that you need to have. How do you handle your sales meeting? And then the other thing is, how do you train and coach your salespeople? Sometimes you may not be able to coach them. You may need to find a coach who can coach your salespeople because they need coaching. As I was selling insurance, I was a unit manager. I had to recruit the salespeople, train them, coach them, and keep them selling. Okay. So what is the other thing is, what is your evaluation process? How do we know what is working and what is not working? How do you even identify people that do not belong to your team? When do you know whether to fire or whether to promote? How do you know that? What is the process? And then the other process in terms of you need to look at is, how do you review your funnel? When I talk about funnel is, you know what a funnel is? This one, a funnel. Yeah. Can you be able to identify the gap in that funnel? When I say funnel is, how do they, how do they generate the leads? How do they convert those leads into customers? What is the gap? And what do you need to close that gap? And finally, the pillar number 4, which is evaluation, is the leads funnel evaluation. I've talked about that. The sales cycle evaluation, you need to be able to evaluate the whole cycle so that you know where are you having the gaps. And then there's the team performance evaluation and your own personal leadership evaluation, because you can't just be evaluating teams. You need to evaluate yourself. So just some notes. 20X enabling system is not static. So it's not a document or they are not. So those are 4 documents. And it is not static. It requires a culture change. You need to change a lot of things within your organization, within your business. It gives you predictable revenue, and it helps you to manage the unmanageable and reduces mistakes, and then definitely will increase sales. But there's a problem. There's a big problem here, because I'm sure you know all those things I've told you about. You know, you need a strategy. I know you need a system that supports a strategy. I know that you need a management process, and I know that you need evaluation process. But there's always a gap between what you know and what you do. And that is normally the execution. And that's where you need coaching. You need somebody to handhold you. I told you I was in Mount Kenya last week, and I summited Peak Lenana on Thursday. And the need for a coach has never been that clear to me, because all through the journey since Tuesday, because we began on Tuesday, we had quite a number of guides. Okay, they call them guides, but I would call him coach. And this guy has, carries oxygen, carries all the first aid that is needed. He will not climb for you, but you'll be there when you're low on oxygen to supplement it. He will be there to tell you, on this trail, you need to eat properly. You see, when you lose appetite, you need to do 1, 2, 3. Now, that is the execution. In my head, I knew one day I will hike Mount Kenya. But when you get there to do it, it becomes very difficult. And I remember the last 400 meters were very hard. And I was telling my guide that, I feel like sleeping. And he would tell me, if you sleep, you're going to wake up in heaven. You see, and of course, I didn't want to wake up in heaven. I needed to be here today to be able to share this with you. So this is what the 20X coaching does to you. It holds your hand. We work with you so that you can be able to achieve what you've got to achieve. And with that, I want to introduce to you something that you're calling the 20X Sales Leaders Mastermind. I just borrowed this definition. I can't remember where I got it, but it's not mine. And mastermind group is a small group of like-minded people who meet for mutual brainstorming and accountability sessions. Now, we've created a mastermind for sales leaders. Now, sales leaders in our case is the sales managers and owners of businesses. Okay. Now, it begins with 4 weeks weekly coaching sessions. The 4 weeks, it's 4 sessions where we meet live sessions every week, and I will do training. And then over the week, we'll coach to make sure that you get the results that you expect. And then after that, we'll have monthly accountability and brainstorming sessions for 3 months with other like-minded sales leaders. So that is the 20X Sales Leaders Mastermind. Now, this is how the 4 weeks will look like. We start with week 1, where you develop a winning sales strategy. When I say winning sales strategy, it's the one that is looking out. And this is where we are going to define who is your customer, what are their pain points according to them, because you're going to find out from them. And then we're going to craft a strategy that works. A strategy, when you give your sales team, they know where to begin and they know the results to expect. And then week 2, we're going to design a system or the frameworks that support and delivers that strategy. And then week 3, we're going to design a management process that keeps you in control of the sales so that it's no longer unpredictable or chaotic. And finally, we look at the evaluation system. So this will be, by the end of 4 weeks, you will have 4 documents, not just documents, but simple, clear ways, roadmap of getting your sales for 2023 set. Okay, it's a very good way to end the year with knowing very clearly what needs to be done. You can now have a meeting with your salespeople and roll out this strategy for 2023. Now, who is this for? It is for sales managers struggling to keep their sales in control, entrepreneurs who are struggling to grow their sales function. Some of you do not even have salespeople, but you need to establish salespeople. Like, for example, when we met with Atanas, we had to figure out the kind of sales team that he needs. So we have a section of sales team that is with him in the office, and we also have other people who are selling who are not on payroll. So we need to evaluate all that. Then it's for sales managers and entrepreneurs who are feeling lonely and confused. You know, when it comes to sales, you're so lost, you don't know where to begin, you don't know how it, what goes where. And finally, for sales managers and entrepreneurs willing to sacrifice at least 4 weeks to work on their sales generating machine. Because the 20x sales enabling is going to be your sales generating machine. So week 1, we're going to design your strategy. Doing a sales strategy for you alone would not cost you less than 150,000. Then you design a system and frameworks. That's again another 100,000. That's the value. The evaluation, management and evaluation process comes to 100,000. So the total of doing this for you would cost you 350,000. But we are offering this for you at only 45,000 because, and we don't just offer you documents. I remember when I started Bismart, I got the services of strategists, somebody to do for me my business plan. And what I got a photocopy of another business plan, because they didn't do any work. They just copied some other business they had done. That was really disappointing. I had to sit down and do my own strategy. Now, when you do your own strategy, the difference is that you understand your business better than anyone else. You know where it hurts. All I will do is to coach you, to guide you to do it so that next time you'll be able to do it. Basically, I'm giving you a fishing rod so that you can be fishing anytime you want to fish. Okay, but for those people who have joined here, I have a special offer. Now, we only have 10 slots. We don't want more than 10 people in this mastermind. Remember, we want a small group so that you also benefit from other people. So it's not about you being alone. One of the things that I liked is when I went to Mount Kenya, we were a team of 7. The fact that you are a team, it made a whole difference. I remember one of somebody who became my friend, and she also became my pace setter. So I would just follow her step by step, and that made the journey easier. Okay, so we only need 10, so we only have 10 slots. Now, if you pay between now and 30th of October, you will pay 40,000 shillings. Okay, now after that, it will be 45,000. The mastermind group begins on 8th of November. So we'll be meeting on 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th. However, this is the live session. Within the week, this is where the work will happen, and that is where my support will come in. Okay? You can book the offer by depositing 20,000 before 30th. That will, will book your 40,000 offer. All right? And that is it from me. It's 10:06. I can answer questions for only 4 minutes, and then we can close it. I can see, Carol, you're definitely interested. Thank you. Sylvia, SMEs, corporates, institutions, and families. I didn't get your question, Sylvia. What is the question? Oh, yeah, it was not a question. You're saying who your customers are. Jacqueline Mutune, very interested. Please, let me put the phone number. You can call Alison. Let me put the phone number there. Alison, please put your phone number and also the link to join in the chat. So there's a link there to register. Put your phone number also, and then you can call Alison to book. Any questions or feedback from this session? It's brief, but I hope that it was it has given you you know, an eye opener. The point is, I have been a sales manager, I've been a business person, and I know how lost it can be. You know, it's like you're just in the dark and hoping someday things will be okay. It helps to have somebody to hold you. For me, I got a coach, and that has made a whole lot of difference. Okay, Duta says, very nice session. Thank you. Looking forward to 20xing. Yes, book the session. This is specifically for leaders. We don't want salespeople because, you know, this is for leaders, because you want, once you, whatever it is we're going to come up with, you're going to cascade it to your sales team. The whole purpose is for you to create a system that even if you took leave for a week or 2 weeks, selling is happening because you're the business leader, okay? Michael says this might unlocking, and for clarity, Anthony, or some very insightful. Yes, so we still have 1 more minute. Any questions? Alison number is on the chat, 0743-161-386. Please call her. Julie is interested. While you're a unit manager, what was your most successful recruitment source? By the way, in this session, in the mastermind, we're going to look at how to recruit. You know, we also create a recruitment process and an evaluation process. You know, recruiting, onboarding, training, and coaching. That is part of what we are going to be building. Yeah. Somebody says this was an amazing session. Will you please get this recording? Yes, we will give you the recording. We will we'll share the recording. Okay. Oh, Julie is asking my best source of agents. I thrive in observation. I look at a person and I know who is a salesperson and who is not. Recently, I've got entrepreneurs asking me to recruit for them. I use another, I have a process that I use to recruit, so I will advertise. But the questions that I ask, I don't look at the CV when I'm recruiting salespeople, because salespeople are not CV. Don't be lied to that people who have studied sales and marketing are good salespeople. That is not always true. I have a set of questions which I'll share with those who have joined the mastermind, whereby we ask certain questions to understand the person and to know the kind of a salesperson, whether this person is a salesperson or not. You see, there is a difference between people who are looking for jobs and salespeople. So yes, Julie, that's how, when I was a unit manager, I didn't know this. So I was just going for networking forums and observe and you know, reach out to the people I would want to recruit. And now as an entrepreneur, I have a set of, you know, questions that when people answer, I know this is a salesperson or not. And I've not been so wrong. I would say 80% of my selection works. Okay. And so we bring this to an end. Thank you very much. Please book your session. It is going to be amazing because you'll be with other people, a very small, close-knit family that you're going to get that will also be supporting you to be the best manager or the best entrepreneur that you can. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.